Siapa pula? Boleh lagi ya?
Tak kena.
Panggil reporter lain
Kena ada seorang ni boleh tak? Boleh.
Tolong reporter.
Kita bagi boleh ke depan.
Dah. Boleh.
Tak boleh lah macam ni. Ada lagi seorang tak yang boleh tolong pegang?
Saya kena buka mask tapi suara lain nanti kalau pakai mask.
Boleh.
Okey. Ya, saya cuma nak menyatakan sepatah dua kata secara umum, dan selepas ni Tan Sri Shafee akan memberi penghuraian dan pencerahan yang lebih menyeluruh dan lebih detail lagi. Pertamanya, saya nak ucap terima kasih pada pihak media yang telah membuat laporan selama trial di peringkat Mahkamah Rayuan ni. Mudah-mudahan maklumat yang disampaikan itu adalah tepat. Sebab itulah yang amat penting rakyat mengetahui yang sebenarnya. Kedua, saya nak nyatakan penghargaan dan terima kasih saya kepada tim peguam-peguam saya. Pada pendapat saya, mereka telah melakukan yang terbaik dan bersungguh-sungguh dalam keadaan yang tertekan dan waktu yang amat terbatas, sebab kita ada kes-kes yang lain yang berjalan hampir serentak. Saya juga doakan bahawa keadilan akan timbul dan saya dapat peluang untuk membersihkan nama saya. Sudah tentu tempoh ni amat menguji kepada saya dan keluarga, dan saya berdoa kehadrat Ilahi, insya-Allah apa yang kita harapkan akan menjadi kenyataan. Terima kasih.
Ada tak yang boleh tolong pegang tu? Tak boleh ni. Okey, pegang satu pun tak. Tak boleh pegang. Ya, ayo.
Okay. We have finished the submission. As is expected, the judges will take some time. We don't know how long. I presume they would want to write a written judgment, because a case of this magnitude, it is only reasonable to expect judges to produce written judgment so that everybody would be able to read and appreciate the judgment. Okay, that's number one. I am quite glad that the judges gave us about 5 weeks in total, when the initial allocation was about 3 weeks, which I thought was not enough, because I thought we require 4 weeks, and true enough, we finally end up about 5 weeks. And we think it's sufficient. We must thank the judges because they have given their patience, and I noticed they are very interested. The point, by both sides, they're very interested to do investigation and also to inquire by way of a Socratic method. They question us, we answer, they question us, and we answer. I always thought that is a better way to come to a more focused issue, and then we can address it. Right? Now, for the overall submission that we have made, we have touched the most major, the biggest points. And we are still very, very convinced that the High Court judge should not have called for the defence. That's very critical, because the predicate offences has fallen flat, we thought, on its face, because the Section 23 offence, both law as well as facts do not support that particular charge. And as to the criminal breach of trust, again, very interestingly, I must say, this is one case, there is almost equal balance of legal issues and factual issues, and each one of them can actually result in an acquittal if the judges are with us. Okay? And on top of that, on top of the legal and factual issues that are problematic, we find with the greatest of respect, there's a serious problem with the judgment of the trial judge, both at the prima facie level, the first one, and then when he repeated the prima facie case in his ground of judgment. There are some differences, but the judgment itself has got serious flaws. There are a lot. You notice today I raised about 20. That 20 is just, as I said it, is just a taste of the kind of mistake the judge has made in the ground of judgment. Yeah? In spite of writing 802 pages, I thought he was very wrong. Okay? And over and above that, what are the issues that we have raised? I think you know. Yeah? We start from the basis that our client started with this idea that he genuinely believed he has got donation from the Arab, and he has proven it so by the 4 letters, by the testimony that witnesses have given of the meeting with King Abdullah. This is not something that can be created. It's not something that you can just cook up a story, because it involved 3 ministers and 1 former ambassador. And then there were other VIPs who were present during that 2010. Right? It was during the 2010 January meeting. Now, this meeting took place. The private discussion with King Abdullah took place in the presence of many, and 2 or 3 of them, including Malaysian delegate, can speak Arabic. And there it was, I think, the birth of the idea that Datuk Seri Najib in particular, Malaysia in general, require assistance from the Saudi because of, I presume, the development that was about to happen in the Middle East. You know, the Arab Spring and all that. And Malaysia being a moderate Islamic country, it is vital, very important for Saudi to prop us, support us, so that we do not fall into extremists. Because a lot of Muslim countries have gone into extremes. We were still solid. And we are still solid. So that promise has in fact developed into actual money that came into his accounts. Because he was told to open up a private account, he opened up, money in fact came in. Now, to show the genuineness, 99.99% of the money never went to him. It was all for political welfare and CSR purposes, all charitable. Donated to political parties, donated to UMNO, donated to ADONs and MPs, and including people who needs money, people who require money, like the kampungs and single mothers. All these were provided with money. There's 0.1% or 0.001% that went to him. Even then, he said, it can be argued to be for official purposes. That was for, because his father died of leukemia. You remember? Tun Razak died of leukemia. So he had to take an injection that would hopefully prevent leukemia happening to him. That cost a bit of money. So he used from that rather than, he could validly take it from the government, but he thought he doesn't burden the government. So apart from that, that's it. It is all spent on that. So the conclusion you must draw is this: if this man is going to steal money, why he stole money like a Robin Hood? I mean, he gave it to others. Surely he must keep it for himself. Well, he didn't. Okay, so that's the Arab donation part. And we have also rebutted this evidence that they say, well, they did not determine these 4 letters came from the prince or not. But the MACC went there. It's a team of about 7 of them, plus lawyers, private lawyers. They went and met these 3 princesses in the palace. And then they were given VIP treatment. They were flown to Mecca, special VIP treatment to perform the Umrah and all that. So it's beyond doubt that that meeting to determine if this was genuine was also true. Okay, so having covered the area where is this really Arab donation, the answer would have to be yes. You expect that Arab donation to come in, and Arab donation came in, not small amount, big amount. So why would a Prime Minister suspect anything is amiss? Okay, unless somebody alert. Now talking about being alerted, he appointed very, very qualified directors for SRC. They are nothing less than chartered accountant, people who are qualified, gone through the universities, highly experienced in corporate fields, businessmen of all walks of life, Malays, non-Malays, Chinese, Indians, all there. Why do you do that? You do that because the Prime Minister, as MOF also, wants to make sure that one of the companies in his stable, MOF Inc., performs well. That's why he appoints qualified people. If the board failed him, in short, the board failed him because they were misled by people like Joe Low, but more importantly, people in the management of SRC failed him miserably. So that is one failure. But he relied on the bank because that is his bank. Because he appointed them 4 accounts, kan, mula-mula. The bank failed him because the bankers were corrupt. See, I'm saying to this in an open line. I don't care because if the bank want to sue, we're very happy. Because then maybe we can have the fullest opportunity to prove. Now that we got a lot more data about this. So some of these bankers were corrupt. They were working with Jolo. They were working with people. They were not my clients. They were not representative of my client. And then some of my clients' former officers, like Nick Faisal, for instance, has escaped. We do not know why. Whether he's involved with something untoward. So that is another aspect of failure on the part of people who are supposed to protect the Prime Minister. His bank failed, and then that bank provided documents to Bank Negara to the governor. The 4 documents were provided. Nobody from Bank Negara alerted if these monies were wrong, if this money were red flag, they were proceeds of illegal activity. Nobody told him. So the question is, how do you expect the Prime Minister to protect himself if this institution failed him? That's very, very important. Okay. Now, otherwise, I would be going to too much detail, telling you about what we have submitted. I think you have heard in the last 5 weeks. So I will not repeat unless you have very specific question you want to ask.
Okay, Tan Sri, just to recap, during your early stage of the defense a few weeks ago, where you raised about where the judge has established the prima facie, would that alone be suffice for the judges to overturn the conviction?
Yes. In fact, we are hoping, because as I've said, there is fundamentally serious problem with the law that was applied. The charges were so badly drafted. In fact, I'm shocked This is why I compared with 17 other cases previously done by the AG's chambers without assistance from outside lawyers. The AG's chambers got it right 17 times. The 18th time they got it all wrong. Yeah, in spite of getting the best of help from outside, special Attorney General being imported. Yeah, there's a lot of blunders that happen. So we are hoping for the court to decide that the defense ought not to have been called. Prima facie level, it should have been acquitted because it has not met with the law, and the facts that was presented fall short of all the charges, primarily on the predicate offences.
One more thing, when the judge said they need 1 week for the both sides to, can you give some clarity on that?
Oh, okay. Normally, you see, we appeal against conviction and sentence. Standard lah. Because once you're convicted, sentence also you will appeal normally. Yeah? But we thought we stick to the practice. Anwar Ibrahim is one such case. We wait until he is convicted and found guilty by the highest court, then you do the sentencing punya appeal. Because otherwise it doesn't serve any purpose. The reason is this. Not that it applies here. In fact, it will never apply here. But the reason why that system exists is this. Especially in normal criminal cases, drug and all that. You do not want to have an appeal pending the result, and then in the mitigation, or rather in the sentence, you say, I apologize for all the wrong that I did, blah, blah, blah. Then, it influences the judges in the main appeal. But that is, of course, on other cases. In this case, there is no way we are even going to hint that our client was wrong, because he's not. Okay? So, the judges here said, why not we complete it? You do you do a sentencing argument. But of course, I can tell you now, because there is a federal court possibility, the sentencing argument may not be that long. The longest one perhaps may be reserved at the federal court. Either way. Yeah?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
All the best.
Yang mana? Saya punya? Okay. Okay. Sorry? Okay. Kita belum lagi terima. Okay. LHDN macam mana dia keluarkan, saya tak faham. How they do that. It's very unethical. Dia belum serve dengan saya, dia dah keluar dah. Dalam paper. Ini typical of LHDN. And I regard this as a political move. That is all I want to say. Okay?
Kita dia dah file dah.
Yalah, dia file tapi tak bagi kan?
So you have not received the...
No, nothing. Yeah, nothing.
Sampai sekarang.
Sampai sekarang. Yeah.
Sampai proses untuk dapatkan files dokumen daripada mengenai suami Tan Sri Zeti dan sebagainya.
Kita dah file lah semua. Kita dah
Kita
file lah semua. Yang saya tak faham ni, kenapa Malaysian government bertahan sangat nak menutup pekung Tan Sri Zeti dengan family dia. Kalau dia orang ada kaitan dengan kes 1MDB, SRC, skandal tersebut, government should help to expose it. Why you help some people who are guilty? I don't understand. Kan? Alright?
Okay.
Yeah.
Terima kasih.
Okay? Alright. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sorry, mas. Sorry, kita baru. Okay. Terima kasih. Oh, ya.
Apa dulu?
Duduk.
Terima kasih.
Tolong ambil foto. Ambil foto. Minta ambil foto. Kenapa?